The Arizona Cardinals are kind of an interesting team, to say the least. Before the season, they were supposed to be kind of decent, and granted, they were. They weren't terrible, but something with this squad just does not get it done. I mean, they have arguably a generational wide receiver in Marvin Harrison Jr., Kyler Murray, who looks amazing at the beginning of the season, and then sometime during midseason, most people blame it on the Call of Duty release, whatever. He just falls off the map completely. Trey McBride, who's coming around as one of the best tight ends in the league, a half decent O line. I mean, there's definitely some room for improvement, but I mean, Paris Johnson Jr. is a very good left tackle. Have a young running back in Benson. I know they have James Conner, but I think we're going to go with the young gun and let him progress. And I mean, Zay Jones and Michael Wilson aren't a bad wide receiver 2 and wide receiver 3. But then you look at their defense. Buda Baker, Zaven Collins, Baron Browning, Jalen Thompson, and that's it. Everybody else in the squad is just atrocious. I mean, granted, Williams, Sean Murphy Bunting, and Melton, two young guys. Murphy Bunting, who's not bad, but definitely none of these guys deserve to be cornerback 1, possibly cornerback 2. But this team, this defense needs retooled tremendously, and I don't want to pay a 78 overall star depth trait quarterback as much money as Kyler Murray is making. So we're going to see what we can do. Obviously, I'm not going to trade Kyler in year 1. I'm going to see how he does. If he does decent, we'll probably keep him. But as of right now, we're going to be drafting a quarterback in the offseason. Might even look to trade Kyler Murray for a first-round pick. Not 100% sure yet, but let me see what I can do. So, I know what a lot of people are going to be thinking here. Why would you trade an 85 overall for 3, basically 77 overalls? Hear me out here. James Conner is going to regress. He's 29 years old. I know he's very cheap, but we need someone that's going to progress on the squad. Greg Dortch will never crack our starting lineup. He's going to be a wide receiver 4, and don't get me wrong, I like Greg Dortch. And we picked up Wan'Dale Robinson, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Flott. All 3 guys who are going to be instant plug-and-play guys, especially Kayvon. Kayvon's going to be huge for the squad. So we just flipped Sean Murphy Bunting in our 4th round pick for Denver's 2nd round pick. Very pleased with that. And I was actually looking around, and as much as I don't want to do this, the Browns seem very, very interested in Kyler. So what are the chances that they throw us Jameis Winston and a couple picks? Not very. Okay. It is possible. Anybody else have green interest in him? The Colts, but they couldn't afford him. What about the Giants? Would the Giants do a deal centered around Kyler? At that point, I could just sign a quarterback. Might do it at draft day. Let's see. Alright guys, so at the end of season number 1, we finished with a 6-11 record. Not great, but kind of good for us because hopefully we can snag a quarterback in the first round. Finished 15th overall in offense and defensively 19th. So not bad. Middle of the pack all across the board. Kyler actually had a very solid year, but 22 interceptions is terrible. Rushing wise, Trey Benson 755 and 4. Would have liked to see those numbers be a little higher. Receiving 1,215 out of Marvin Harrison, 1,008 out of McBride, 917 and 7 out of Michael Wilson, and 843 and 5 out of Zay Jones. And I just realized, I think I forgot to move Robinson up, which is fine because we're losing Zay Jones this year, but I hope he doesn't lose his depth trait. That was a terrible decision on my part. Looking at the defensive numbers, 7 sacks out of Zaven Collins, 6 out of Darius Robinson, the rookie, 5 out of Baron Browning, 4.5 out of Mac Wilson, and 1 out of Dante Stills. We need to get to the QB more, and we need to pick off the ball more as well. Holy wow. Well, kind of expected. We knew our defense was atrocious. Nobody up here for MVP, which is expected. Offensive Player of the Year, Marvin Harrison comes in at number 8. Defensive Player of the Year, nobody. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Marvin Harrison gets beat out by Jaden Daniels. And then Trey Benson was down here at number 8. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Darius Robinson was down here at number 8 as well. Not bad, but not good by any means, but could be worse. We did obviously miss the playoffs, so let's get into the offseason, see how everybody progressed, and go from there. I was debating accepting Kayvon's fifth-year option, but the man went up to superstar, so we're 100% going to take that. Very happy there. Zay Jones, we're going to let walk. Same with Gardick. I would like to get Evan Brown back on like a little 2-year deal, but I don't know if it's going to be possible. It is. Might have overpaid a little bit, but for his overall, it's kind of hard to find somebody that's going to fit in the way he does. And aside from that, we'll let everybody else walk. So let's sim one more week. Go ahead and let all the guys we let walk go. And we'll take a look at the roster. Oh, I need to... Before I forget. Make sure we put in our draft class. All right. Taking a look at the squad here. Marvin Harrison Jr. is up to an X Factor, which is awesome to see. Wan'Dale Robinson does keep a star depth trait. I'm very happy about that. Sorry, Wan'Dale, you were not supposed to not play. Trey Benson is a star. Trey McBride goes up to superstar. I believe he was star at the beginning of the season, but I could be wrong. And then over here on the defensive side of the ball, Kayvon is a superstar. Buddha stays as a superstar. Wilson goes up to a star, so I'm not mad about that. And that's it. Oh, wait. Robinson goes up to star. He was not hidden dev trait from what I remember. So it's awesome to see that for sure. Okay. So in free agency and the draft, because we do have money to work with, I definitely want to upgrade our line. Maybe pick up a middle linebacker because Wilson is old. 27 years, so he'll be good for a little longer. And then we definitely need to pick up probably a right guard or left guard. Definitely. So let's get her done. All right, guys. So the only person in free agency that was worth anything was Ernest Jones IV. Went ahead and picked him up. 25 years old, 82 overall middle linebacker with star dev trait. Very, very pleased to have that. And now we're going to send to the draft. And this is where we get to make a tough decision. Obviously, Mr. Kyler Murray threw 22 interceptions last season, but you minus that out, he actually had a very solid year. The team did not perform, though. Let me take a look real quick and see what he bumped up to overall wise. Did he increase his value? He is an 82 overall, so he definitely increased his value. His cap hit did decrease by about 10 mil. We do have the 8th pick. I wonder what we can move to. So let me scout. All right, so we aren't going to have any late picks in this draft, but the Giants were the only team that was remotely close to giving us a first-round pick. So they gave us their pick 7 for Kyler Murray and our 5th. Obviously not happy with that trade by any means, but it did move us up. We have 2 picks in the top 10. As you can see, we have 7 and 8, and hopefully a quarterback falls. Okay. Okay. Shoot. Cam Ward is off the board. Okay. Keep Sanders. Keep Sanders. Okay. Saints, you guys want to stick with? Yes. Okay. Come on, Sanders. Oh my God, the Seahawks took Shador. Uh-oh. That's not good. That's not good at all. Mulrow doesn't look bad. Hopefully he falls to the second round because I'm definitely taking Travis Hunter now. Number 1 in true value, obviously. And holy crap, we don't have a quarterback now. It's not good. It's not good at all. Well, Campbell looks good, but doesn't look great. What about Millen? At that point, I'm just going to take Luther. Okay, we'll take Luther Burden to change over from Michael Wilson. And come on, Milrow. Drop. He did. Okay. As much as I don't want to, we'll take him. He's probably all we got. Be decent. Hidden depth trait. Okay, he does at least have hidden depth trait. He's not going to be great right away, but hopefully he can turn into something for us here. Okay. Not mad about that. Not happy, but not mad. He looks solid. Okay, take us a defensive tackle here. But hidden depth trait. Okay. I don't know how I feel about just being like, oh, it's hidden depth trait. That's cool. That's a great draft pick. Not really. All right, I think we have one third-round pick. And that's our last pick of the draft. All right. Lacey's a very good quarterback. Wide receiver. But don't really need that, obviously. I think we go with an alignment. Now we're going to go with Logan Parr. Alright. Not the draft we wanted by any means. I was really hoping. I knew Cam Ward wouldn't, but I was really, 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 really hoping that Shitty would fall. So, let's see. Alright, so taking a look at the draft, not bad. Travis Hunter's obviously an 8 overall. Luther Burden is 78. So we got, I think we're going to leave Travis Hunter as a corner. But we got Jalen Moreau, another wide receiver to throw to. He is a 69 overall, so not great. But again, could be worse. Man, we might be taking back-to-back quarterbacks in drafts. I'm not sure yet. Let's set the roster here. We are high overall than the Bengals, which is kind of crazy. Set the roster and we'll see what happens. Alright, so year one with Jalen Moreau. We've still finished with a 6-11 record, which isn't terrible. We finished with the 16th best offense, so literally the same as if we had Kyler, so I'm not mad about that. And finished with the 9th best defense. Okay. So Jalen Moreau, 4,500 yards, 36 touchdowns, 25 picks. Hopefully he can get those picks down, but aside from that, did not look bad. We need a running back. Trey Benson, 706 and 4. Okay. Marvin Harrison, 1,216. Trey McBride, 982 and 5. Michael Wilson, 953 and 8. And Luther Burden, 935 and 3. Not bad. Defensively here, Darius Robinson with 9 sacks, 8 out of Baron Browning, 7.5 out of Dante Stills, 4.5 out of Zaven Collins, 2.5 out of Thibodeau, and 1.5 out of Robinson, Derek Nottie. So, I mean, we were getting to the quarterback quite a bit, okay? 3 picks out of Kayvon, 2 out of Collins, Williams, and Flott. Travis Hunter did not have a great season, but I did have him at the slot, which is kind of weird they didn't have a better season. Looking at the MVP voting here, obviously no Cardinal in existence. Offensive Player of the Year, we got Marvin Harrison Jr. in here at number 6. Defensive Player of the Year, nobody. Oh, Thibodeau was in there at number 10. Offensive Rookie of the Year does go to Jalen Moreau, with Luther Burden coming in at number 3. Defensive Rookie of the Year, we got Travis Hunter down there at number 9. Kind of disappointing to see that, but at the same time, kind of is what it is. Let's go ahead and get into the offseason and look to improve upon this team. We are an 86 overall now, so we improved 2 overalls over the season. Alright, guys, so taking a look at the upgrades on the squad, Jalen Moreau is up to a superstar, which is super awesome to see. Marvin Harrison stays at X Factor. Luther Burden and Michael Wilson are both stars. We're going to move Luther Burden up to wide receiver 2. Trey McBride goes up to superstar X Factor. And then over on the defensive side of the ball, Kayvon is an X Factor. Travis Hunter is an X Factor. Okay. Our defensive tackle is a star. Wow. Okay. Some very, very good dev trade upgrades for our squad. So far, the Kayvon trade that we made is paying off. Moving on from James Conner. which is amazing to see. We have $109 million in cap room, and I think the big glaring need on our team is O-line. Not really glaring need. Right guard and left guard could definitely use some upgrades, possibly even right tackle, but they'd have to be pretty large upgrades. And then on the defensive side of the ball, just the right end and possibly upgrade our defensive tackle. Might just let Turner kind of upgrade himself. But if someone's out there, I'm obviously not going to say no. So let's see what happens. All right, guys. So I know our linebackers look good, but Leo Chenal was sitting in free agency. He was not interested in us, so I did have to throw him quite the bag. But he took our offer, and he is coming to Arizona. That is insane. We also picked up Travis Jones to slide in over, I forget his name, but our terrible right end. And aside from that, there wasn't much available that I really saw that I liked. So I think we're going to roll with it and hopefully draft, really focus on O-linemen in the draft this year is what we're going to do. Alright guys, so at the end of the draft, we ended up snagging Brian Montgomery, who was a hidden depth trait O-lineman, as well as Jonathan Montgomery. Not bad. Donovan Robinson, the CPU, did draft us a free safety, but he is normal depth trait, so he will not be seeing the field. They also dropped us a tight end. Obviously not going to use him one bit. We have $78 million in cap room. I don't think we are going to use it. I don't really see any trades that need to be made. I'll take a look at Budda Baker. If he starts regressing, we're 100% going to move on from him. But as of right now, I'm kind of happy with where the squad's at. So let's get... What was that rookie at? Let's get Montgomery up here. We're not going to start him, though. But we will go ahead and bench Brown for the other rookie that was drafted. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then I think those will actually, no, we have to move up Leo Chenal. Allow him to be our rushing right end. And see how that goes. Alright, so a little bit of improvement here. We finished with an 8-9 record. Still have a lot more to do before we can be a playoff team, I guess. 14th best offense in the league. And 10th best defense. So definitely not an issue there. Jalen Monroe had a crazy year. 4,300 yards, 34 touchdowns to 12 picks. So we definitely got the picks down. Trey Benson had a little bit better. 786 and 7. Receiving wise, Marvin Harrison with 1,115. 1,008 out of McBride, 861 and 4 out of Burden, and 844 and 4 out of Michael Wilson. Okay. Defensively here, we had Zaven Collins with 15 sacks, Darius Robinson with 14 and a half, 8.5 out of Leo Chenal. Heck yeah. 3 picks out of Max Melton, 2 out of Kayvon, Flott, and Garrett Williams. And Travis Hunter still only had 1 pick, but he's getting quite a bit of tackles. So not mad about it. MVP, obviously we're not up in that voting. Offensive Player of the Year, no Cardinal there either. Defensive Player of the Year, we got Zaven Collins in there, number 4. Okay. Offensive Rookie of the Year, nobody. Defensive Rookie of the Year is the same story. I mean, we had O-linemen, so it kind of makes sense to not have anybody up there. We have $78 million in cap room heading into our final year, and we need to make some moves if we're wanting to go all the way. Alright guys, so taking a look at the squad before we head into free agency. Glaring need right here is right guard. Okay. No depth trade upgrades, but the overalls are climbing, so very happy to see that. And then over on the defensive side of the ball, Kayvon lost his X Factor, which is kind of upsetting. But Zaven Collins did go up to Superstar. Somehow Travis Hunter's keeping his X Factor, even though he's not doing a dang thing. Alright. Really surprised Robinson didn't get that trade upgrade. Kind of upset about that. Okay, so if we're looking at the defensive side of the ball, we need to upgrade our D-line. We need to upgrade our free safety, possibly. But definitely need to upgrade our O-lineman. So let's get her done. So far in free agency, we got Frank Ragnow and Elton Jenkins. Obviously, 2 huge additions to our O-line. Very happy about that. And we signed Mekhi Becton. Aside from that, the free agency was kind of trash. I mean, Saquon was here. I threw him an offer just because I thought it'd be cool, and we were his #1 offer, and I think he went to the Giants. He did. He went back to the Giants, which is absolutely crazy. All right, so let's head into the draft. We're obviously not going to draft anybody. We're just going to be trading. So let me see what I can do to improve this defense, and we're set. First move we are going to make is trade our first-round pick for Latu. I don't know how to say his name, but you guys know who he is. So that improves our D-line tremendously right off the bat. The next thing we're going to do is trade for Tashawn. No, we're not. We're going to trade for Kalen Bullock to be our new free safety. And now we just need a defensive tackle, and we're set. And we found one here in Brian Brees. So let me set the lineup, and I think we're good to go. I really hope we are. We built quite the squad. All right, guys. So somehow this team finished with a 9-8 record, a 90 overall squad. At least we made the playoffs, so I'm happy about that. We finished with the 11th best offense. Not good. And then defensively 18th. Somehow we got worse. Jalen Moreau had an amazing year. 4,300 yards, 44 touchdowns, 8 picks. Trey Benson with 886 and 7. Receiving wise, Marvin Harrison with 1,400 yards, 17 touchdowns, 955 and 8 out of Burden, 951 and 9 out of McBride, and 678 and 7 out of Wilson. Okay. Defensively here, that's why somehow we didn't get to the. That's just ridiculous to me. And wow. Yeah, our defense is just. Monroe does come in at number 2 for MVP, Offensive Player of the Year. Marvin Harrison and Jalen Moreau are 4th and 5th. What Defensive Player of the Year? Nobody be in there. All right, but at the end of the day, none of that matters as we take on the Eagles here in the wild card, and. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. Yet another disappointing rebuild. Maybe I need to take some pointers from somebody. But if you guys did like the video, please hit that like button and that subscribe button. And stay tuned for future vids.